So, I hear you guys want me to get started on the twin Taiwan tranny thrashers. We got two yin-yang spinny things going into this boy. Unlike last time, our objective is not solely to blow this car up. So we've got a little bit more to do this time around. This has been so fun. Hey girl, we just blew our motor. Can we get a ride? Because of my GTR, sometimes I forget I even have the Evo. I'll never drive it anymore. All right, I'm all buckled up. Let's go for a drive. All right, we're done. Whoa! Jerome, what are you doing there, man? Jerome. Hey, Google. Stop. Bruh, it's fine. You look pathetic, bro. Freaking get your act together, dude. The biggest step for the twin turbo stuff is gonna be preparation. These two little boys over here are going to build up a lot of boost. And last time, we quite literally destroyed a motor at 25 PSI. And so the goal this time is obviously to go about 25 PSI or maybe even higher. So in order to do that, we've got rods that I showed you guys last video. I ordered genuine Wiseco pistons, so that'll up the compression and help the car pre-boost. And that comes with the wrist pins and the piston rings and everything like that. And I also got ACL race bearings. We got main bearings, rod bearings, everything like that. So that's gonna be replaced as well. And I'm actually thinking about getting maybe a Skunk 2 cam, but for now, we're gonna do pistons and rods to make sure this sucker can actually hold boost. And here's what's cool. I did mention it in the last video, but Drum, you good, bro? Oh, you good, bro? Uh-oh. Yo! Like I mentioned in the last video, you can actually do pistons, rods, and bearings with the car on the lift. You don't have to take the motor out. Motor can stay in the car. No matter what. Oh wow, this has some weird tranny brace on it that the manual, I don't know if the manual has it, maybe they added it to this year. Anyways, I have to get the oil pan off for several reasons, so that we can go ahead and reach and go ahead and disassemble the motor, but also because I'm going to be able to thread and drill 2 drain holes for the 2 turbos. So that is what we're going to be doing today. I know the last couple of videos have been mostly talking and speaking about what's been going on. Today we're really gonna get it going. Okay, guys, it's really hot, even still. This is a big piece of something caught in the oil pickup tube. Let's go ahead and grab this. I'm really curious. That's bad. Like, this motor, if I wouldn't have opened up this pan, I don't know what the hell that is. It's like a piece of plastic, dude. That can literally blow the motor. That could have literally destroyed my motor right there. I'm also noticing there is some stuff. Not a lot. I'm seeing some like little bitty pieces of metal somewhere in the oil pan. It's not bad, but little teeny tiny little pieces of bearing, it seems like, kind of like spread around here. That's not awesome, but it's fine because I'm going to be completely replacing, all bearings. So this is super simple. Like the way the motor is dude, this is actually kind of cool. The last time I saw an Open D series, it had the biggest, this entire thing was gone. The whole thing was broken off and I have the piece. Little pieces like that considered, I'm really hoping that the crank is gonna be okay because we have to reuse that crank. If we take the crank out, then we gotta take the entire motor out and that's not gonna be fun. So I'm hoping and praying that the crank's gonna be fine. But now what I gotta do is take this little oil galley, oil feed off. Gotta take these little pieces off. I'm gonna put them in a very safe place. There's probably a lot of you out there that know exactly what's going on right now, but I'm telling you what, like some of you guys out there are gonna be like 18-year-old Evan, where you see the stuff like this and this is super fun to watch. I want to be as detailed as possible because I know that there's people out there that were curious like me. I always wanted to watch videos like mine, and I always wanted people to be as in-depth as I do. And so if sometimes I talk too much about it, or if sometimes I get into a little too much detail, I do it for the people out there that I know that need it, and that really want to see it. Anyways, that's cool. All this is gonna be removed as well. I'm very excited to get that crap off, but I'm gonna go ahead and remove this stuff. That's a 10 mil, 10 mil, 10 mil. These are, I guess, 14s. And I'm gonna have to use the impact for that. Be careful with that. It's actually got some goop inside here, bro. We off the goop today. so I've got this little oil galley off. This little piece is cool. Basically, oil goes down through this little tube down here, and it squirts oil straight into where these bearings are. You can kind of see, like, this right here is a bearing, and this is what needs oil on. And if you ever see somebody that says, like, I spun a bearing, or like a bearing went bad, chunks of this can go missing, and they can go into the rest of your motor, and that's bad. Or they can just spin, and that's horrible. I mean, from what I can see, the crank seems to look fine. I obviously need to get these rods out. It's hard to tell. I mean, like, you're usually talking about like millimeters and millimeters of wear and damage, but I'm telling you what, dude, for a motor that had 180,000 miles on it, this thing's looking pretty damn good. So now what I'm gonna take out is the rod. I'm gonna take off the rod cap, and also in between these two little pieces right here, there's another bearing that goes around there. There's lots of bearings in here, including the main bearings that you cannot see right now. Okay, let's see if these come off easily. Get a little friction with the towel, and not that bad, honestly. I mean, this is 1 out of 4, and so we're gonna have to take all of them off, definitely. Hell yeah, dude. All you gotta do, get this on here. Usually a good sign is if they come off pretty willingly, then it's pretty healthy, but this guy's a little tough on there. Last one, and that one's not too bad. So there's 3 of them now, I guess. No markings on this. It's a little worn, but that's to be expected. This one was super reluctant to come off. I actually had to kind of smack the crap out of it a little bit. You can see that little, like, scoring right there. That means that bearing was going bad, and that's probably, you can actually start to see some copper, which would explain if there's any little pieces in here, it's gonna come from that right there. There's no, like, I'm digging my nail into it. If you can feel a scored crank, then not worth it. Like, just throw that crap away, get a new one. Running my finger along all these, everything is looking really good. Yeah, this guy, usually when these are reluctant to come off, that's usually what that means. So it's probably really good I took it out. In fact, I think the bearing actually was trying to come out as I was... Yeah, for this bearing having been in the motor for this long, it should definitely have never come out like that. And so here we go. Now you get to see the back of the bearing. It's not like awful, but that's pretty bad. It's definitely reusable if I wanted to. If I wanted to reuse it, I could just wet sand it down, clean it up a little bit, and hone it off. That is what happens when, you know, you make 60 wheel horsepower, dude. Dangerous. If you guys can't tell, I am going a little more all out on this build than I did the other one. I didn't touch the motor, didn't do anything. I did a $600 eBay kit and then we maxed the boost until the motor said bye. With this one, we're building the motor. The only thing I'm not doing is sleeving. Eventually, I'd like to do springs and retainers, a whole valve train for the D-Series, and maybe just have a really fast twin turbo D-Series. And if it doesn't work, then we have a really cool built motor and we can take one turbo off and send it. No matter what, I am taking the head off anyways because I'm replacing the head gasket. So I'm gonna go ahead and start getting this ready. I'm gonna switch distributors. The other one is newer and it's got red wires, which is kind of cool. It'd be nice to have all that out of the way for the trans swap too. The transmission swap might literally take like 10 minutes since the bottom and the top of the motor is gone. Like all we're going to have is just the block itself. This Texas heat is dehydrating. I've made some pretty good progress today. The head is almost off, but these things are kind of whack. They have a little bracket on the back and kind of hard to reach. I've made good progress for now, and so I'm gonna go ahead and stop here, and tomorrow I'll get the pistons and rods out. We'll make sure the motor has pretty good integrity. The piston walls, they should be fine, but we definitely need to make sure. I think it's absolutely insane. I've said this before whenever I did like the Z, I pulled out the motor for my Z by myself, but it's crazy to me now that, you know, I used to not even be able to change oil in a car. I didn't even know how to do that. Or spark plugs or anything like that. And it's crazy to me now that after just years of trying and just putting effort into this, I'm building a motor in my garage for fun. For literally fun, and that's just cool. That's just super cool to me. I want to say something. My daily advice for you guys is if you don't like a habit that you have, then create a new one. Those of you who follow me on Instagram know that I kind of just made a pretty big dedication back to something that I've kind of lost, and trying to get back in the habit of doing something. I just want to let you guys know that psychologically, it takes 21 days for your brain to create a habit basically, or to break a habit. If you have a bad habit of something too, it technically takes 21 days for you to break the habit of doing it. Now, if it's like a drug abuse or something like that, it's a little bit more complicated. I understand that. I went through the same thing. I want you guys to know that it's possible, and if you don't like the habits you currently have, or the things that you do, then create new ones. And it's easy to say that it's easy. It's really not easy. It's not easy. It just takes willpower, and you gotta be strong. That's what I want to remind you guys of today. I want to encourage you guys to really give it your all. Create or break those habits. This is pretty cool. I love Honda stuff, dude. It's exhausting, but it's easy and fun. Well, Texas is exhausting. That's it. I'm gonna go play some Borderlands. Love y'all. Bye. I just peaced out twice, dude. How whack was that? Did you guys cringe? Ultra cringe? Mega cringe? Super duper cringe? You know what's cringy? Not watching those 2 videos in front of you. Bye. That was cringy.